What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yo, hey. Well, this weather don't know what it want to do. I see you got on the sweat jacket. I got on a hoodie, bro. This weather crazy. Can't hear you.
I said last week we was in tank tops, man. I don't know what's going on.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, this past weekend we was walking around feeling real good.
Hey, facts. I was about to say, man. I was like, man, it's good to see you, man. Been a while since we actually linked up. We got together, but we was at that show. We'll give you guys a recap to that show next week. But we have a special guest, so we're gonna go straight into the guest this week, and then we'll give y'all the recap to the Magnum Muscle next week. So stay tuned. You guys will see the reels for that show. But we have someone coming on today, and I don't think I can introduce them without putting the C word first, right? A champion.
Oh, what? Boy, that was crazy. What?
What C word are you talking about? You are a wild boy. But a champion, the first pro wellness champion of the 2026 year season. Look at you, bro. Hey, we gonna have to get you together, but so
nothing, dog. You said that for the record.
She won the Captain's Cup. Her Instagram handle is Big Mo. So we're gonna bring her on and see if she gonna, because the last person who had Big in front of their name, we had Constance on, also wellness. She brought energy, so we're gonna see what Big Mo energy is gonna be like when we bring her on. But if you guys do not know, I had to go snag the. Let's see. I had the picture up here. Oh, it went away, but we will post it whenever it comes up. But I was prepared. But let's just go ahead and bring you to the stage. Mo, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
What's going on?
We was having technical difficulties. We thought we had a picture. We don't have a picture, but hey, it works.
You know what? We here. I'm here in the flesh. Here
There we
live.
All right. So if you can you give us a quick introduction? Who is Big Mo?
So I am Mo. My full name is Jamoka, but I go by Mo. I actually just started bodybuilding a year ago. Next month will make a year. So freshly new baby bodybuilder. But I've always been active. I used to run track and I dance. So working out and fitness is not new to me. I just have more structure to it now. And so we kind of started this thing on a whim. Me and my coach, he reached out to me. He was like, oh, have you ever thought about bodybuilding? I personally never thought I was disciplined enough. And now look at me, I'm a pro wellness champ like 6 months later. So, anything is possible, but yeah. So I competed in 3 shows so far. My first show I came, second overall. My second show I got my pro card, and then my third show I won the overall title. So I'm on a 2-winning streak right now, trying to keep it going. We're gonna see how it goes. I do got some big shows lined up this year, so I'm excited. I'm really excited for this season to start now.
You leading us off, Jamal? You got
Oh,
something?
sure I will. So, you say you got a background in dance and what else?
Track. So I used to run track.
Okay, it's funny because these wellness competitors are known to be track runners in their previous life. So, how did your dance and track background transition to what you're doing now, competing in wellness?
So I think it's probably no surprise that a lot of track stars are wellness because we're lower body dominant, especially like the sprinters. So I did more mid distance. So I was a 400, 800 runner. So I wasn't technically a sprinter. But that's what we work on in track, our legs. So we're building those leg muscles. So you have the not only like endurance to run, but your legs are strong enough to, run these races and not get tired. And then dancing, I think that helps with my posing. More so than anything, just helping me be graceful on stage, that stage presence, which is very important. Because, sometimes you have like those first time competitors and, you can tell they're nervous. So I think like my dancing background definitely helped with that. Now I've been nervous all 3 times I stepped on stage, but I think the dancing background kind of helped with that stage fright just a little bit.
Okay, so for you getting into bodybuilding, of course, I'm pretty sure with dancing, you been in front of a lot of people. Just as like track, you've been in front of a lot of people and had to perform. Mentally, what's the hardest out of the 3?
Definitely bodybuilding. Because it's different. And I was just telling somebody this the other day. It's like the stage exposes you. So it's like you can't hide anything when you get on stage. It's going to show either that you were working hard or you weren't working hard. And so sometimes like it does add a little bit of pressure, but it makes you work hard. You have to push through like those moments where it's like, oh, I can't have that extra rice cake. Oh, I can't have that extra scoop of peanut butter, because I have these goals that I want to reach. Like with dancing, if you're like in the back, you can kind of mess up, skip a step. Nobody might not see you. With track, track too, like you're also exposed a little bit, but if you're like on a relay or if it's like a smaller track meet, it's something is different. To me, bodybuilding has been probably like the most challenging. I've had to lock in a little bit more with bodybuilding. It requires me to go to like a different level, especially like now in the pro level. It's not the same.
Absolutely. So what was your like this is serious now moment in prep? Like everything clicked, like, okay, like I'm actually doing it, like this is it.
For me and me and my coach were talking about it. I don't know if I'm a good client or a bad client, but it's like that 8-week out mark where it's just like, okay, like 2 months away from the show, if you don't get it together, you are going to get on stage looking crazy. So like for the first few weeks of prep, I'm like, okay, I'm chilling, it's fine. But then it's like when that 8-week mark hit, like every single time, 8 weeks, it's like something clicks in my brain and it's like, no, we got to get it together. And I think even for like, we decided to do the Tampa show. I think maybe we were about 10 weeks out when we like fully committed to doing that show. But I was only 4 weeks post from Mount Rogers. So I was like, okay, well, I wanted to get through the holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving. I wanted to eat food, but I was like, okay, but I still have goals. And it's a pro show. And I was like, now it's like I can't treat this show the same way I treated the first 2 shows. And so I think that too, it's like, okay, I'm competing against, one of the girls, or I think a few of the girls competed at the Yorton already. So I'm like, I want to go up here and I want to be, competition, like real competition against these girls. And I was like, all right, I have to like really lock in. And I just get in that zone. And it's like, all right, like doing my cardio, I'm not missing any meals. Because at least I know like whatever happens on stage, I gave it all I had. Like I gave it 110%.
Okay. And speaking of your debut show, which was Tampa, I know for myself, I always try to speak for myself on this podcast and not speak for the broader group, but there's always like a certain doubt, even leading up into the show. So when did it click in your head, like I can win this pro debut show?
I don't think it ever clicked until like they called my number. Who came in second when I knew when they called her number, I was like, oh, I won this show. Because even backstage, like I think that was the nervous I've ever been for like a show. I was so nervous. I was like, oh, I started having imposter syndrome a little bit. And I knew I worked hard and I knew, we looked good. But I was just like so nervous the entire time. And I don't like to jinx myself. I'm kind of superstitious a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to give it my best. And, however the judges decide today, I'm giving it my best. I had my AirPods in backstage. I was like getting in the zone, listening to my hype music. I was like, all right, I got this. And whatever happens, I knew that was the best package that I had brought to date. But yeah, I think like backstage, I was like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna go. But I think like once they started like calling out like the awards, and it was me and Denise for the top 2, I was like, okay, top 2 to me, top 2 was still good. I was going into the show at least like, hey, my pro debut, making top 3 was a win for me. So the overall was just like icing on the cake.
See, you don't got that dog in you. You still gonna say, I want that thing. Hey, there ain't no time. Hey, Oh Lord, look, I'm talking junk. My chair done broke. Hey, we gotta cut that out.
And that off-season that Bojangles for the weekend.
Oh man, look, I don't forgot my question now. Nah, but you said you got a couple more shows lined up this year. And you said that Tampa was your best package to date. So what can you possibly improve on, or what are you and your coach going to improve on so you can keep on this winning streak for the rest of the year?
So I know I'm on the smaller side of wellness, but I have the shape. So, but our focus is like, building my quads and my hamstrings. So I know, like we know, my core is fine, my glutes are fine. You can never have, big enough glutes though. But for us, like we feel my weak spots are for sure like my quads and my hamstrings. So we're just trying to, add as much as we can to those. And it's hard, not being in like a full off season to try to add muscle, but we're trying to tighten them up, make them pop as much as we can. So it's like a full package. So we can come in, undeniable, where it's like, okay, I step on stage and all eyes automatically come to me. And plus at Yorton, going against Chaz's hamstrings are crazy. So it's like, okay, I really got to like work really hard, like, to get to that. And that's what I do. I compare myself to like pros. So even before I got my pro card, it's like, okay, this is who I need to look like, to be competitive in this sport, to do well in this sport, to be one of the top in this sport. I do got the dog in me a little bit because I want to be one of the best. I'm humble with it, but I want to be one of the best. And so it's like, okay, like people are like, oh, I want to be like her. That's what I want people to say about me. But yeah, so quads for sure. I'm working hard on my quads. I'm like squatting heavy right now, trying to grow as much as I can, build as much muscle as I can.
Okay.
So she's saying she has like a chihuahua in there. It's not a Rottweiler, but she got a dog in there. That's what she's saying.
I got that dog in me. I got that dog in me. Okay. It's Snoopy, the dog that I got.
So I'm gonna ask a mentality question because I think this is the part where we really don't get to tap into it that much, but every athlete has to go to a certain place. So you competed as an amateur. So you know what that's like. Your mentality as an amateur is one way. Then when you win your pro card, it's a different way. But then once you become a champion, now you're not the person that's hunting anymore. You're getting hunted now. People's like, I know who this person is. So how did your mentality change in all three of those phases?
So I think coming off my very first show and missing that pro card by one spot, my mentality was like, no, I can't go out like that. Like I need to work harder. I need to, get that pro card. And so going into that second show, I think I needed to lose that first show. I think honestly, I needed to lose that first show because I think that set the trajectory of, my bodybuilding career so far. Because had I won that first show, I might have just, done Yorton. Now who knows what have happened, but I needed to lose that first show to go into that second show, to win that second show. And then winning that second show, it's like, all right, you're a pro now. Now you got to act like a pro. Now you have to train like a pro. You have to you can't do your prep the same way you did that first time, the first two times. And so my pro prep going into Tampa was probably one of my hardest preps mentally because I kept getting in my head, that imposter syndrome kept coming up. I would have moments where I was like, you know what, I'm doing this, I look good. And then other times I was like, no, it's like that stage all bodybuilders have where it's like, I'm not lean enough, but I'm fat. Or it's like, I'm small, but I'm fat. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense. So I kept dealing with that a lot. And then I just kind of like, finally, I was like, you got to get out your head. Like, if you're going to do this, you need to do it like 110%. You need to get out your head and do what your coach is telling you to do and trust the process. So now, as an overall champion, it's just like, all right, I have to like I have to stay 10 steps ahead. So it's like people are trying to catch up to where I am and I need to stay ahead. So I can't, let myself go. I can't, have those extra treats or things like that. It's like I have to, especially because I do have shows lined up at the end of the year. So I'm not going into an off season. So it's like I have to, be better. My goal is to always step on stage better than the last time. And so Tampa was my best. So now the next time I step on stage, I have to be better than Tampa, because also now I'm stepping on stage as a champion. So it's like, oh, she let herself go and now she thought it was easy. And I don't want that. We're not doing that. Like, if you want to be able to beat me, you're gonna have to be at that level or better than that level. So it's just like I have to stay 10 steps ahead. That's my mentality. It's like, okay, do those extra reps, do that extra 5 minutes of cardio, because somebody out there is doing the extra, and don't let them outwork you. So that's my mentality now, is don't let that person outwork you.
Okay, and with that mentality, not letting someone outwork you, do you refer back to IG to see what other people are doing to make sure they're not outworking you? Or how's
No.
that process for you?
So for me, it's just like, hey, I know, like, I'm in here. I'm so, for reference, I'm 130 pounds and I'm squatting 255 pounds. So it's like, I'm pushing myself in the gym. And so it's like, hey, I'm like, when I go to my workouts, I'm like, I'm not going to go there and just like go through it. Like, I'm like dead set, like that muscle mind connection, the time under tension. I'm lifting heavy, I'm pushing myself. So it's like, hey, I'm working hard. I'm working hard as hell. So if they got to be working where I'm working at in the gym or harder. So it's like, I know I'm doing everything that I have to do. I'm trying not to now do the comparison game. I'm doing a really good job of that. Before I would go to people's Instagrams and seeing what they were doing. But now I'm like, you know what? People are going to come to my Instagram like, oh, what's she doing? What's she working on today? What does she look like right now? But it's like, I'm working hard. And so it's like, you're going to come to my page, you're going to see that I'm working hard. Like, I still do my posing every day. I still do my cardio. I'm in the gym. I'm not skipping any sessions. So it's like, hey, you're not going to outwork me. And if you do, then you deserve the win, but you're not going to do it.
All right. So what's one misconception you think people have when it comes to wellness and the way wellness competitors work out? Because I'm not going to lie, when I do go on Instagram, most of what I see is a bunch of hip thrusts. And I know it's more to it than that, right? Like, I know because I'm in the sport. So I know y'all do more than hip thrusts, but
Yeah.
That's one misconception people have. Oh, wellness just do hip thrusts and that's it.
So it's a lot, I think. Like, now we are lower body dominant. So, and we're the only category where we are to be disproportionate. But I think a lot of people also don't think that we work upper body. And we're not, like, I'm not doing PRs on shoulder press, but I'm working my shoulders. Like, I probably work my shoulders. Right now I'm at like 2 to 3 times a week. So whether I have a 5-day split or a 6-day split, I'm working my shoulders, because, you want the shoulder caps. You still want to look like you work out, like you have the definition. So I think a lot of people don't think that wellness girls do their upper body. I work my bicep. I'm working hard for my bicep veins to pop. Like, every other vein in my arm pops except my bicep veins. I'm in there. I'm like, all right, give me these 30-pound dumbbells. Maybe that's what I need to do. But yeah, it's more than hip thrusts. It's so many different exercises. Bulgarian split squats actually I have almost every single leg day. I think I do those more than hip thrusts. And I like them because it's an exercise where, depending on your foot placement, I could work straight quads or I can work glutes. And it kind of works everything. I don't like hip thrusts. I mean, I do them, of course, but I think I'm like the only wellness competitor that does not like hip. I hate hip thrusts. If I could get rid of one exercise, I would get rid of hip thrusts over Bulgarian split squats.
All right, so I have one more question, and this is, I guess, you're fairly new, like you said, you've been into the sport for about a year, and I think the one thing that I can say confidently is there hasn't been a repeat Yorton champion ever in wellness. That is constantly changing hands, and we had Chaz on here, so we know how competitive Chaz is. So, and we all know Chaz, so it's always a good energy. But what do you want your legacy to be when you're all said and done with the wellness? or with your career in bodybuilding? I know you're fresh in it, so it's hard to think that far down, but what would you want your legacy to be?
I think that, she worked, so I want people to say that she worked hard. Gave herself a goal and she achieved it. And, even what I said, like my little thing at the Captain's Cup, if you could believe it, you can achieve it. And I think I love the direction that wellness is going. I'm going to try to be politically correct here, but wellness was made in Brazil. So, it was made for that body type. And, as a Black woman in wellness, especially at the top, you don't see many of us. So I love that Chaz is, the Yorton Wellness champion. Me winning my first pro debut wellness champion, so it's like having that legacy that people that look like me can do it too. Like no matter, who the category maybe was made for, if you work hard, you can achieve it, you can do it too. So, it's just like, hey, she set these goals for herself. She helped pave the way, because I'm not paving the way. There are other, Black wellness competitors out there, but it's not many of us. And so I want that to change. I want people to see me, to see Chaz and say, hey, you know what? I look like them and they're doing good. And so I can do it too.
All right. Last question, Jamal. What you got? Put you on the spot.
I mean, I don't know if you're willing to say. I'm nosy. So what's your show lineup this year? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so I am doing Apex and I'm doing Yorton, for sure on the OCB side. We are dabbling on the natural NPC side as well. So the goal is to do Ben Weeders. I don't know how it's gonna go. But my priority is Yorton for sure. Apex is a warm-up show for Yorton. Depending on how we do at Yorton is gonna determine whether or not I'm gonna do Ben Weeders. But yeah, so those are the shows right now. Of course, you got to do a qualifier for Ben Weeders, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And when I got some teammates coming too for Yorton, so it's like the pressure is on. Yorton is probably, I want to say, my biggest show that I got this year. Okay. And I'm excited for it. Yeah, I am very, very excited for it.
All right. Okay. So we're definitely going to have to recircle, bring you back for that championship series. Of course, leading up to the Cup, we always interview champions and athletes alike. But we appreciate you for joining us today. This was a great interview. And then I think we'll catch you, in September for the Apex?
Mm-hmm. Yep, for the Apex. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure for sure.
Of course.
And you guys can catch us on YouTube, follow, subscribe, comment. But until next time, peace.
Peace.